Hey, let's talk about E3 2021 for a second. Every year I like to kind of make a video where I talk about what to expect, what I'd love to see, some real hopes and dreams and stuff, and just the state of the whole event or concept in general. And it's a crazy year. It's nice to see E3, the concept, the whole season of game announcements of June is returning, especially after last year. And it's still a pretty interesting year. It's laid out a little bit differently. I'm going to talk through this because I'm still actually scheduling this for Game Ranks and everything. But so there's 3 tiers of E3 things this year. Video game Christmas, some people like to call it, even though it's really just a bunch of commercials. Anyway, firstly, there's Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest thing. That kicks off June 10th with a whole big presentation type thing. Expect the Jeff Keighley with the microphone. Expect things to be revealed. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm actually putting a lot of stock in this one. I think he's cooking up some good stuff. And then the Summer Game Fest is going to be kind of like an ongoing thing. There's going to be all types of things going on. Then, of course, there are publishers putting on their own things. Then, of course, there's the publishers putting on their own things and some companies here and there, some indie companies. The Future Games Show and the PC Gaming Show are always 2 shows to definitely catch that are happening in June. I'll have the dates on screen there so you can write them down. But then, of course, there is the actual E3 proper, which is different this year. It's not going to be an industry event where you go and attend it and there's presentations and then you go to booths and you play games and you write things about them and you tell your readers or your YouTube viewers and stuff like that. Now it's a little bit different. There's still going to be things going on and things kind of hosted by people, interviews, previews and stuff, but these are also housing some of the developer showcases and events and stuff like that, specifically like the Ubisoft one and stuff like that. This is all going from roughly June 12th to June 15th. Nintendo is going to be doing their thing in partnership with E3, but I wonder how much is going to be under that housing and just doing it on their own in terms of all the publishers. Then, of course, there's the Xbox Bethesda conference thing. That's going to be June 13th. I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff, obviously, to look forward to for that. The biggest thing, I think the trickiest thing for all of these places is that, they're all fighting, they're all jockeying for attention, and some of these guys don't necessarily want to have their big news lost in the roar of everything else going on. So that's why Sony typically has been kind of stepping away from E3. I'm recording this video. They are revealing Horizon Forbidden West gameplay, which is nice. And I do expect them to keep rolling out more things consistently in a PlayStation Direct. There's been a lot of good shit, but I'm waiting for them to really give us something to really eat good on, like God of War. But in terms of things to expect, I think it's going to be a pretty decent year because I think there was a little bit of a buildup from last year, and this can serve as a bit of a release. I think that some companies have still been playing their cards a little close to the chest. Last, E3, last couple of events, we've gotten just kind of a lot of teases and some hints at what's coming and CGI announcement trailers. I expect this year to hopefully give us more gameplay and a little bit more meat in presentations all around from all the companies. But I do also think that expectations need to be kept in check a little bit just because of the pandemic and stuff and how development has suffered throughout the year and how things have slowed. I think some people don't realize how much that has affected the creation of games for some studios, specifically some of the bigger ones. So if there are shortcomings, I think it's going to be a result of that more than just Sony doesn't want to give us anything, Xbox doesn't want to give us anything, stuff like that, like the console war bullshit. But I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be a good time. Excuse my undying, just disgusting positivity. It's gross, but I think that a lot of people are just looking for some exciting video game stuff to get pumped about and to look forward to. Whether it's people out there who just got a shiny new graphics card or their first PC, or maybe you got your hands on a PlayStation 5, or maybe you're trying to get a PlayStation 5, or whatever you're playing on, doesn't matter. I think a lot of people are just looking forward to what's next. And look, I know many of you guys are a little bit more cynical than me. I'm not saying just get mindlessly hyped over all of these games. No, I'm not saying that because it's a high likelihood a lot of the games might end up disappointing us. But I'm just saying things to look forward to in terms of oh, that game's gonna come out. Hope it's good. Just knowing stuff on the horizon and keeping your expectations healthy. We have a rough glimpse of the stuff coming next, but there's always more, especially in terms of the Xbox side. We've only gotten so many things here and there. Really teases or anything, we know there's a Fable coming, but we don't know anything about it. Maybe now we will. Then there's the Bethesda stuff, of course. And I do think Nintendo can kill it this year. Nintendo's going to have their Direct, and I think that there's some potential for some really cool shit. I mean, think about how much they've been sitting on. Well, first, there's the breaking news of the new Nintendo Switch being a real thing and coming this fall, which is crazy, and also show off some things that we've been wanting to see for a long time. And it could be their big thing. Like, every couple of years, one of the big companies has a showcase that just kind of like blows everybody away. It's been Xbox, it's been PlayStation. I think Nintendo could do that, although Nintendo always just kind of does their own thing and they don't need to blow us away, or at least they feel like they don't need to blow us away. But I would love an event where it's just, hey, here's Metroid. Also, hey, here's Bayonetta, remember that? And here's a bunch of Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay. I would be incredibly happy for that. Right, they reveal all those and then they go, oh, and by the way, all this is running on the Switch Pro. But don't worry, you can still run on your regular Nintendo Switch. But to do all that, announce, show games, and then also reveal new hardware, crazy ambitious. Would love to see that from Nintendo. My expectations aren't there because it's like Nintendo's 50-50 in terms of like their hype and excitement around their announcements, but still, I am, again, just really curious to see how Xbox is going to go down with the fact that it's like a joint Xbox Bethesda thing now. That's just like uncharted territory. And on the Xbox side, just more games. Honestly, they've revealed a lot of CGI trailers the past few years. This is the year I want to see some gameplay for stuff. Most notably, obviously, you guys know I'm a diehard Fable fan. I need to see that, dude. Be cool to get a glimpse of Obsidian's RPG or just stuff we don't know about. Not to mention, and this is like a bit of a reach, but I'd love to catch a glimpse of that Indiana Jones game they announced. That thing blew me away as like a movie fan. I'm so excited for that, but it went quiet. So I'd love to just see even a teeny bit of it. Also, one thing I'd like to see, and in terms of where it pops up, in terms of like a third-party developer, publisher, on the Call of Duty and the Battlefield side, I don't really care too much. They're always going to come out. They'll be interesting, but like whatever. I would really love to see more from WB. Think about what they're sitting on. Technically, 2 DC type games. We have Gotham Knights, which has been pretty delayed, but I'd love to see more of that. And definitely that Suicide Squad game. That could be a big showstopper if they do show us a little bit of that, give us a little taste, you know what I'm saying? And then the damn Harry Potter game. I still want to see more of that. This could be the year, but who knows? Separately, one thing that I'm predicting and looking forward to, this is kind of like an out of my ass prediction, but a new Star Wars thing. EA is holding a thing, I believe. So I would expect that we'd finally see a glimpse at the next big Star Wars game. There are multiple Star Wars projects in the works, so I think now is the time. I thought last year we were going to get a glimpse at like a new Star Wars thing other than like, Squadrons came out last year, but I thought we were going to see the next big thing, and I think now is the time. Personally, also massive Star Wars bias. I just want to see something about Star Wars because I love Star Wars. But hey, then on the Ubisoft side, I'd like to see a couple weird things. Like I'd love for them to drag back out Beyond Good and Evil 2 and be like, guess what, guys? Actually, now the game is interesting and it looks cool. I'm sorry. But if we are speaking of Ubisoft, I got to bring it up. I bring it up every year because I'm a goddamn hack. But picture this, Ubisoft's event type of thing. The lights go down. You hear a radio. Fisher, are you reading me? Loud and clear, Lambert. Bing! And then the goggles turn on, and the crowd goes fucking wild, and I shit my pants. And Splinter Cell. That would be the best thing ever. Is it going to happen? Who knows? Probably not. They're going to announce that he's in another mobile game. No, actually, they're going to put Sam Fisher in like a pachinko game. That would make me very, very happy. But there's also so much that I know I'm going to be pumped to see. In a serious note, just the unknown. There's always going to be some unknown stuff, some smaller titles, some AA titles. Those are the things I really like to see and get excited about and look forward to for the next year ahead. And I'm excited to just be surprised because every year, usually, I tend to have some scoops. I know about a couple of things before they're announced, and I mostly just keep them to the chest just because I've been in this industry. I've been doing this for a while. But this is the first year. I guess it's because of the pandemic, so I don't like go outside and like speak to anybody else who works in games. I don't really know anything that's coming. I have like no scoops. So I'm going to be completely surprised and I can't wait. So really with everything, the way I'm looking at it from roughly June 10th to June 16th, hopefully we're going to be eating good. And then there's some stuff in July, a little bit here and there. It kind of just seems to be like a summer thing. Could be consistently somewhat interesting for a while if all goes well, dude. Do I wish it was all condensed into maybe like a 3-day weekend? Yeah. But hey, more info is more info. I'm hoping there's going to be a bunch of good stuff, and I can't wait. I mean, there's always going to be the group of people who are just disappointed every year. that's fine. But I'm just, let's see what they got. I think everybody could just use a couple of exciting little fun new video game announcements this year, right? But that's just me. The biggest thing on why I do these videos is because I want to hear your predictions. I think this is a lot of fun. So in the comments, let me know if you give me the top 5 list of, give me a top 10 list actually. 5 dream reveals and 5 realistic reveals. If you don't want to give me a top 10, just give me your ideal E3 dream come true. Like like somebody comes, like Hideo Kojima comes out on stage and announces that he's making, I don't know, he's making Max Payne 4, whatever. So let me know that. I want to hear that. We could have some fun down there. So I appreciate that. I will be putting out videos talking about all this stuff. I think I'm going to group it in days specifically. I don't know how I'm going to do it. There's going to be a lot of stuff. It's going to be chaos, but we're going to have fun. Buckle up. Video games. I'm Jake. Thanks for watching. Clicking the like button helps me out a ton if you appreciate me just talking about stuff I love and not hating stuff for the YouTube algorithm. But thanks for watching. Subscribe because video games.